All right, Nick. I'm back. Better than ever. I'm also, hopefully we're matched up here.
I'm 0-1 Jonathan Indy at the plate, first and third.
Yep.
What a game, man. Is this one of the wildest games you can remember?
Just cut off Fairchild going to the pitcher. Here we go.
All right.
Hopefully your cable doesn't do me in.
I don't know. I've been behind streams, so I don't know.
Sounds like the old cable networks are starting to lose their grip.
They are. Trace, how was Nashville, Trace?
It was great until someone broke my window out.
What?
That's a real thing. It's a real thing. Yep.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay. But other than that, it was fine. It was fine.
Ugh,
Something's going on in my chat. People are saying congratulations. I don't even know what's going on. I'm locked into this baseball game is what I am.
They're saying turn up your mic in the chat.
I know. Listen, I'm going to turn my mic up, but I also know that my XLR cable, for whatever reason, has some static in it. So the more I do this,
you're good. I don't hear anything.
Static has a chance of coming in.
It's good, buddy. It's much better than it was in our Sunday. I don't really hear anything.
We're
rolling.
We are rolling. Man, the chat is popping right now. I know that proverbial the chat and YouTube is what I'm traditionally talking about. Right now, the Chatterbox group text on the old iPhone is going bananas. I don't know what happened, but Paul did something good. He's getting a lot of congratulations. So, Paul, haven't seen what happened yet, but congratulations.
Congrats, Paul, new voice of the Washington Nationals.
Is that what it is?
No, I don't.
Nice knowing you, Big League Paul.
Oh, man.
All right.
This is the longest.
This is one hell of an at-bat by Indy, I'll tell you that. He pitch clock be damned. He turned this into like the 20-minute at-bat. Get off my screen. Tough pitch.
Oh.
Something's going crazy. Did Paul tweet something out, chat? What is that? OJ's Bronco? What's he talking about? Oh, to fix. I get it, OJ. I appreciate that. Hey, every little bit helps, man. Every little bit helps. It took me a minute to put all that together, OJ. Got to be honest. But I do appreciate that. We're almost there. Tell you what, I'm $4.99 closer to fixing my window. But yeah, somebody busted it out. Got 3 trucks in the parking lot. 3 trucks in the hotel parking lot. All came out, and they were all busted open. Guy took next to nothing.
Sheesh.
Looking for, I was told the police said they were probably looking for I won't say in case my kids are watching. But you can be stereotypical if you want to think of just big trucks. That's the only thing that they were looking for was something in big trucks. I'll leave it to the imagination. Jake Fraley.
Big spot. He's had a nice night.
That's a really good take.
That is a great take. That's
a
tough bitch.
Don't let me forget to say something nice about Jake Fraley later in the show. Remind me of that.
Okay.
It's the small things.
One in the seats. He's gonna put one in the seats here.
That was a tough pitch to swing at. A little breaking ball, low. I should know this, but I haven't been paying attention enough because I've been staring at computer screens. Who's at first right now? Barrero?
Yeah. Fairchild's at third.
Get up!
You're ahead of me. Did I just call it? Did I call it? How about that? Jake Fraley. He's back. Oh, he got it all over your face. Woo! Let's go.
That's how you do it. Talk to me. I needed a shower. Hadn't got one since I got home. I mean, that's how you hit a baseball. Just saying.
I believe it is.
That's how you hit a baseball.
I believe it is. How about that?
Just, I mean, that's a Viking.
Yesterday, talking on the show about how, hey, this is a nice ballpark for the Reds because it's so big and, they're not a good home run hitting team.
Tell that to somebody else.
Hitting every ball out of the ballpark today. Oh, man, that's incredible.
Guys, did Paul Frischner tweet anything?
I checked it. He didn't even tweet anything. I don't know what's going on.
It's bananas landing right now in my I'm trying to watch the Reds play, and all I see is Paul.
Oh, boy.
Man.
Paul wrecking our lives.
Beautiful.
Trying to have a good time.
I mean,
I can't believe they did that to old friend Dylan Floro. That's rude. That's rude, Jake.
I love Who's Your Daddy. Who's Your Daddy? Do me a favor. If you're on the YouTube app and or on the computer, you can kind of just scroll back a little bit. You're going to want to do that. If you're just now coming in, Who's Your Daddy? You need to scroll back just about a couple minutes. Tyler Stevenson, by the way. I'm not saying he's back. That's strong. We're getting closer. You take that. Speaking of back, you take that back. I ain't back.
He's back. Tell a friend. He's back.
I don't know about that, action boss. Oh, he's all over the zone.
Wait till Will Myers is back.
Tyler Stevenson. Is he 3-0 swinging?
Turn him
That's
loose.
just not a strike, man. If you want to be a professional umpire, if you're professional, that's not a strike. You call the game the same way no matter the situation. I know it's 7-4. I know it was 3-0, but you call that a ball. That is a ball. Now he swings at the next one in the same exact spot because you called it a strike.
Trace is back. I'll tell you that.
You got to be better than that back there. I mean, that's not even close to being a strike. Figure it out. That's ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. I'm so happy I'm ahead of you two, by the way. I'm going to have to pause. You want me to pause for you, Nick?
No. I saw it. I'm trying to get us a bottom line here. I'm trying to multitask. I can't talk and type at the same time. I'm not.
That sounds like a personal problem.
Well, our bottom bar would be a personal problem. So I'm trying to have a decent show here. I had T-ball tonight. I miss you too, buddy.
All
Shay
right.
did a great job though.
He did. Shay, shout out Shay. I listened to pretty much all of them on the either the drive back from wherever I was at in Nashville or on the way home. And Shay's more knowledgeable than I am. So there's that. He don't know ball as well as me, but he's definitely more knowledgeable about everything else. Let me tell you, without question, not even close.
We had a good time. Series win. I tell you, the Reds have played well when Chase come on. We're going to have him on more. The boys play well for Shay. Okay, Austin Hendrick to know. All right. I think we got a bottom bar. Can't promise anything, but we'll see what we roll through here. Oh, I got to add Jake Fraley. Second home run there. Did Sear get out?
Dude, I don't feel like I should share, but I'm going to have to see what's going on in this chat.
All right. Fired up. We got a knitting.
Oh, baby, Paul Frischner.
Did he get engaged?
I can't tell you what happened. I cannot confirm nor deny anything.
I probably should have said that live.
I'm not saying that's what I feel like. If I said no, then you're going to ask me another question, and then I'm going to have to say I can't talk about it, so then you're going to be right. I can't say yes or no, okay? That's all.
All right. Let's fire up this ticker. Let's fire it up. We got some minor league scores on there, folks. I hope you are as excited as I am for an elite
big league poll. Man, what an inning.
Yeah, it just broke singular, so. Oh boy.
Good job. Do you need me to fix it?
Nah, we're rolling. Sometimes it freezes when I add like my 5,000 word bottom ticker. It freezes on me. I have to reset it. I try to give the people something to read. Probably no one reads it. I'm probably the only one who does.
They all read it.
It's there for you. All right, I gotta do my other job here. That didn't save. Oh boy.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh
boom.
boy. Oh, it just didn't update. There we go. All right, we're rolling. Oh, this inning's not over. Man.
No, this inning's not over.
Oh, jeez. Woo-wee. All right. Yeah, we still gotta
this inning's not over. Especially with Cincy at the plate. Got robbed of it. I wouldn't call it a hit earlier, but guy made a pretty decent play.
Did you see the Chris pointed out in the chat that Ellie seal of third base?
Yeah.
Tonight.
Yeah. Heads up baseball player. Heads up baseball player.
It's just incredible. No. What is he
Come on.
Alexis did pitch yesterday. Come on,
yeah,
let's I honestly, even if Sinzel put one in the seats, I think I'm still gonna let him.
Good inning. That's a good inning. That's a good inning. Let's win the inning now. Let's win the inning. That's all we have to do. Oh baby, I'm gonna have to figure that out too.
How we doing, chat? No, Chad, nothing exciting. This is just a Rain energy drink. We would love to have them be a sponsor if anyone from Rain is out here. Be a sponsor for Chatterbox Reds. See if we got anything else in the chat. My God, we've been on for like 5 minutes and there's 100 comments in here. I think 90% of them are Mouse Cop.
Check this out. Got a nice little Cincinnati Reds bat. It's let's see if I can get this in. It's a little wiggly, but don't worry. They did a nice tape job. Fixed it right on up. What do you think about that?
Is that a kid's bat?
Yeah, nice little kid's bat. Here, let me see if I can help this out here.
I got one of the Lake County Captains just like that.
Nice little,
well, not me.
Nice little kid's bat. Can't get it all on screen, but anyway, nice little tape job. A little wiggly, but after the last show, I better be careful.
You got anything else you want to talk about here on the J bar? I feel like I need to rearrange it now.
You don't got to put it on the J bar for me to talk about it, big dog. I think we've done enough shows for you to figure that out. But as far as the official J bar and what we're going to actually talk about,
I updated. Is that up to your standards?
Yeah, it's always up to my standards with you, Nick. I mean, nobody better than the game. Chat, I'm going to have a hell of a time tonight. It's going to be fun. Don't know how long it's going to last, but it's going to be fun.
Please, Alexis, finish this.
We're not talking about that. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I don't want to talk about Will Myers for 2 hours.
What do you mean? We're not talking about Will Myers, period. I don't know if you see my tweet, but I hope that he was standing right next to the sign. He was in on-deck circle. There's a really big ad right there. It said, now hiring AutoNation. Just saying.
I still believe, Will.
Still believe, man.
I'll be your last supporter. I'm your ride and die, Will.
Tell you what, Nick, never seen a guy stick with so many has-beens in my life.
Hey, sometimes it pays off beautifully, and sometimes I look like an idiot. So
well,
it always ends in spectacular fashion one way or the other. So.
All right. Chat, we got 33 people watching right here. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit the like button. Let's get some people in here. Let's get some people in here. Even the haters. I want them all in here.
Let's be a little more clever on the J bar. There we go. Come back, Jake. There we go. A little more clever. We need to up our game tonight.
Ronnie's asking where this power came from. I don't know, brother. Came from the Miami sun.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what this Reds ball club needed. They needed a little nightlife. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They went out, let loose last night.
Yeah. A little nightlife. That's right, Jackson. A little solar power.
I thought Soler hit a home run and I was behind when I saw that solar power.
Oh, I thought he didn't call that for a second, chat. I froze.
That was late. I
froze.
That guy has been an adventure tonight.
Tell you what, man. Don't let me get excited about this baseball team now. Don't let me do it. Just saying.
Do I dare check the Pirate score?
Don't let us get hot, chat.
Oh, they're losing. They're losing.
Don't let us get hot now.
I might have to start at, I took these scores off of the bottom bar for the NL Central. Yeah, it doesn't really matter anymore. I'm going to start putting them back on there.
Dude, I've never seen a baseball website struggle as bad as MLB.com.
It's a journey.
They're bad. Broken links everywhere. They call that a can of corn unless he doesn't lose it in the lights.
I had faith. I updated it before it even went in the glove. All right.
Oh, baby.
One more.
Let's go, chat. Cubs currently losing. Don't let that happen either. Who's your daddy? I don't think that's true because at least your ex, probably there's somewhat of, at some point, positive memories. I don't have one positive memory of Will Myers.
He had 2 home run game.
That's right, back in Philadelphia.
His entire offense for the whole season.
Dude, fuck. Alexis Diaz, boys. Let's just admire this. Let's admire this. Watch this backdoor slider. Sorry, this guy got out earlier on a ball that hit him in the box, but nope, no backdoor slider there. All righty. What do you think we're talking about right now?
Just throw a strike. We're up 3 runs, bud.
Yeah, I mean,
don't be cute.
Don't need to be cute. Don't need to be cute.
I can hear yours. It is like a beautiful Sadak echo through mine.
Is it?
Yeah,
nice.
It's actually
that,
no. It's actually like kind of cool how it's synced. It's kind of fun. Oh,
come on. Let's not play any reindeer games here. You can do it. I know you can. Ah!
Boom.
All right, chat. You know what time it is. Nick, let's go. Nick, yours truly is back. And you know what? One would say that the Cincinnati Reds, at this very moment, just might be back as well. Nick, I've missed you. I've missed the chat. I've missed the show. I was worried that I was going to get replaced because Shea was so good. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, I got to bring my A game tonight. And Fraley helped me with that. So shout out to Jake. Appreciate that. We got the box score recap as usual. We got Comeback Jake, Graham Ashcraft, MLB replay. Boo. Reds MILB. We'll get into all that. Probably more things that aren't on the ticker. No Jonathan India talk tonight, okay? No Jonathan India. He's a really good baseball player. He had a tough night tonight. We're not getting into all that crap. We love the Cincinnati Reds, and he's on the Cincinnati Reds, so I love Jonathan India. That's what I want to say. Nick, how are you?
Oh, I am doing well. What a fun night. Watch the Reds. Reds are playing well. This has just been a great week. Great week to be a Reds fan.
It's a great life to be a Reds fan. Now, you might think that it's not at times. But trust me, that day is coming. That day is coming. It is. And let me tell you, it's going to be sweeter for all of us. All of us that are 30 to 45, I don't know, maybe 50 years old. I'm not doing math on the fly that well. But my point stands, that day is coming. Yeah. If it's not here already. But I don't think it's here quite yet, to be fair. We're not going to get too crazy on this show. It is Friday night. There is some fine Pilsner to be drinking. But you have what I'd like to call a box score recap, Nick. We do it every show. I want you to do your very best to let the viewers tomorrow morning, and especially tonight, know what happened. Go ahead.
All right, I'll try to keep this under 10 minutes. Reds and Marlins scoreless through the first 3 innings. Reds had Graham Ashcraft on the mound. The Marlins had Yuri Perez, the number 9 ranked prospect in all of baseball, making his big league debut. But in the top of the 4th, Tyler Stevenson led off with a no-doubter 88-foot home run at 104.6 off the bat, his second homer of 2023. Nick Senzel then doubled. Henry Ramos laid down a great bunt, but unfortunately was called for batter's interference. Will Myers had a tough night, struck out, and then Stuart Fairchild, he was robbed of a hit on a great play by Marlins shortstop Joey Wendell. Bottom of the fourth, Marlins got that run right back on a double by Brian De La Cruz. Jake Fraley missed the cutoff man. Reds probably would have been able to gun down the runner at the plate. The runner was Luis Arraez. But top five, Jake Fraley, he made up for it with a 399-foot solo blast, 105.8 off the bat to put the Reds up 2-1.
105.8.
105.8. And then in the bottom of the fifth, Will Myers, tough night continued, lost a routine fly ball in the lights. That resulted in a Joey Wendell triple. The Marlins then tied the game at 2 on a pass ball to Tyler Stevenson. The ball bounced right back to him off of the back wall. He threw it to Ashcraft, who tagged out Wendell at the plate. The tag clearly beat him. Wendell was ruled out, but replay review overturned that. For clarification, this is from Bally Sports Ohio. For clarification, we have been advised this call was overturned in the fifth because the tag was not completed because the ball came loose. It wasn't about the tag, but the completing of the possession of the ball during the act of the tag. Much more on that to come. The next batter, Jazz Chisholm, hit a home run, just went over the right field wall to make it 3-2 Marlins. Bottom six, some dude named Peyton Burdick hit a home run off Ashcraft to make it 4-2 Marlins. Ashcraft allowed a single to Jacob Stallings, who was pulled from the game. Ashcraft finished 5 2/3, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. But in the top 7, the Cincinnati Reds, this team is at comebacks all year. They fight. They never give up. Reds got a couple runners on, and then Spencer Steer drove both of them home to tie the game at 4.
Who?
Spencer Steer. Remember the name. Steer's double 108.9 off the bat. And then at the top of the ninth, our man, our hero, our legend, Jake Fraley hit a 3-run home run, his second of the day, put the Reds up 7-4. And when the Reds have a 3-run lead in the bottom of the ninth, there is just no chance against Alexis Diaz. Mowed the Marlins down. Reds win. Reds 10-6, Trace, in last 16. Reds 17-21 now on the season, playing some good baseball right now.
They very much are. And I think at this point, we got to start asking ourselves some very difficult questions coming soon. We're not doing that on this show. We're going to keep it right down the middle. We're going to do it by the book. First on the list, the topic is comeback. Jake, what do you mean by comeback exactly?
Well, it's kind of a double play on words here, Trace.
All caps, too.
The Reds came back from a 4-2 deficit. Another impressive comeback. This team has had a lot of comebacks here during this run of late, which has been really impressive. And Jake Fraley got off to a slow start to the season, and all of a sudden, Jake Fraley's come back. Jake Fraley, out of nowhere, has an OPS of 789. How about that?
No doubt. Jake Fraley is one of the best hitters on this team, and it's pretty evident. And the question is always whether or not he's going to find himself in a position to be able to play if a right-hander's throwing. I've started to lean and fall into the trap that is the Nick Kirby rule of thought, which is I do think that it's probably smart to continue to hit him when there's a platoon situation and a right-hander throwing instead of the lefty. I'm gonna do my best tonight, as I said before, to stay very disciplined to this rundown because I know inevitably I will go off the rails, as they say. Graham Ashcraft is a dude, okay? He's a competitor. He competes outside the last time, and that's what I want to say the most. We'll get into Lodolo in a minute, okay? Because there's the ability to kind of spiral out of control and let your last start affect the next start. And he did not do that. And I think in his point of view, or at least in my point of view about him, is that's the thing, like I've said before, I like most about Graham Ashcraft. I've seen some people on Twitter saying, oh, he's going to let the emotions get the best of him. I'll ride or die with a guy like that. I understand that maybe sometimes that his emotion might get maybe the best of him, if you want to call it that. But more times than not, we're going to win with the formula that Graham Ashcraft goes out there and competes and pitches with. And I wouldn't say that his emotion got the best of him. I don't know what that means exactly. You got a guy in right field who lost the ball in the lights. I'm not even going to get on Myers really all that much for it. It happens. It's unfortunate. It doesn't help when Will's struggling as bad as he is, when he also then turns around and makes that mistake. And you know, we got to catch the ball. If you're a catcher, that's part of the deal. That's part of the actual job responsibility of a catcher is to catch the ball. And then we obviously are going to get into MLB replay. So we're going to stay right on this topic. I'm going to let you have some quick thoughts or some thoughts in general. I'm not going to rush you. You take your time, Nick. You take as much time as you like. Your overall thoughts on Graham Ashcraft, and then we will get into this MLB replay.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought Graham Ashcraft pitched pretty well tonight. Much better than anyone who just pulls up the box score tomorrow. I think his defense was really bad behind him. Had some tough luck too. I wouldn't necessarily think that Will Myers was bad defense. Like that's just the ball got lost.
The lights are bright out there in Miami. Some guys can't handle it.
It's a weird stadium, you know, too. But again, I thought Ashcraft battled through. And it was cliche to say he gave the Reds a chance, but he gave the Reds a chance in this game, and gave them a chance to come back. And it was impressive after that last start. That was the worst start of his career. On Sunday against the White Sox, he bounced back. He was really good through the first 3 innings. He attacks hitters. Graham Ashcraft is everything you want in a pitcher. Is he a number 1 in the future? I don't know about that. But is Graham Ashcraft a big league pitcher? Hell yes, He is. He's a good big league pitcher.
That he is. My man Fred in the chat said Will Myers is cheeks. You forgot booty in front of that, my man. MLB replay, another thing we need to discuss. I'm lost, Nick. I'm lost. I don't know. I'm like the guy out in the middle of the sea just hoping there's going to be a raft. I'm basically Wilson at this point with Tom Hanks. That was Tom Hanks, right? I don't. Here's my problem. That call, the umpire seen Ashcraft bobble the ball and then decided that he still wanted to call him out because he felt like he had possession when he made the tag and then at least held on to it for whatever his discretion was. I'm not a rules expert. I know that Chris Welsh is. I know you have a relationship with Chris. I don't know if there was actually I didn't watch the game with the sound on all that loud. I was kind of, I hadn't seen my family in a while, so I was kind of having discussions with them. But my only basic question is I was always told that the umpire is the one that has the discretion of how long someone needs to have the ball in their glove before they are deemed as having it controlled to make the out, right? It's not like there's a set time or a set specific thing in the rule book. It's more or less left up to the interpretation of the umpire. And the umpire, in my argument, seen the ball come out of Ashcraft's glove, and then he still decided to call him out. So was there an explanation, and what was the explanation from New York as to why they're going to overturn it? Because we've seen far too often, Nick, the play stands on the field as the biggest cop-out excuse in the world is always used by those jabronis in New York.
Yeah, how is this not a call stand? Like, unless they had some replay. I know sometimes they have angles we don't see. I didn't see any angle that showed the ball clearly in the glove or out of the glove, how long it was in the glove. It was just kind of, it felt like in order to make this call, you had to make an educated guess that the ball popped out at a certain time, right? Because there was no clear evidence of that. And that's not conclusive, right? The whole thing is it has to be conclusive. I don't know how you can look at that replay and say, yep, it was conclusive when the umpire had a better angle than any of the thing we saw on replays. It's just the problem is it's so inconsistent that at some point it's what are we doing here? That's the overall. It's like what are we doing here? Because we're wasting time on this, and we're still getting calls that are so subjective and don't make any logical sense.
Yeah, and I'm the first to argue that you should overturn the call if you think that you have the call to be made. I don't like standing behind this scapegoat excuse of the play stands. But in a situation like that, I just don't know how you're making the judgment call. Everything looks much more cleaner in slow motion, and also your perception of time is much different in slow motion, right? So I guess the only argument that I could understand and come to a logical conclusion of is that Ashcraft never actually had control of the ball ever And just because it looks like he's kind of made 1 or 2 steps in slow motion, that's not the reality in real time. Whatever, that's beside the point. That's what losers do, by the way. I was thinking that during the game. Losers want to point the finger at the umpires and those people as to why they lost. All right? We don't do that on this show. We pull the thumb. We don't point the finger. We pull the thumb. It's on us. You got to play better defense. All right? We just do. Okay, so I know that call, it was what it was. It was a bad call. But at the end of the day, I love how I just did both of those in one thing. That was for all of my haters. You know, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, right there in a 10-second span, that's for all of you. But more importantly is that we have to catch that pitch. And I don't know where to go from here. I'm not going there because I'm staying positive. Everyone wants to say toxic trace this, toxic trace that. You know what? I like to be a truther. That's what I am. I like to just tell it right how it is, right down the middle. If you suck on defense, I'm going to let you know you suck on defense. If you can't hit, Myers, then you can't hit. And at some point, Nick, we got to get some guys in here that can hit. And I got some ideas.
I think we have a few guys that can hit, and we have a few guys that can play defense too. So we're gonna hopefully kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
That would be nice.
And they can run, and hell, Trace, just for an added bonus, they can run the bases too.
Yeah, really fast too. By the way, this is for also all of the people that need to hear this. It's the second one of the night, by the way.
Oh.
Anyways. And there's nothing else to add about the MLB replay. It seems broken right now. I do like the replay, so if we can clean it up, that'd be nice. I'm not one of those ones that say, oh, get rid of it completely. I can't stand it. It ruins the game. There's humans involved. We like the human element. No, just get the call right. That's what we want.
And pick a lane. Either
correct.
Either we're standing behind call stands, and then there's very few things that get overturned. It's got to be this like completely, or let the replay review center have some judgment.
I'm with you.
Have this flip-flopping. That's what's the most frustrating about it.
I agree. Here's the thing. Also, I am this, for those that can't see in podcast form, I'm holding my fingers really close together. I'm this close to saying we're not giving up on Barrero. We're not going to give up on him. I truly mean that when I say that. I think Barrero has it in him. I don't know. I know the fan base, some of the fan base can't stand him. I know that he has quote-unquote haters out there. I'd like to see him get a chance, but I also, as I've said before, at the very beginning of this year, I don't like the idea of just continuing to run guys out there when they don't produce. So what we need to do, in my opinion, is to say, you know what, Jose, we still love you. We still believe in you. You got a guy like TJ Friedel, who last year struggled when he came up here. We sent him back down. We gave him another opportunity. We're going to give you another opportunity. But right now, we need to find out what else there is, and we're trying to win. Because that's what we do here in the Cincinnati Reds organization at a professional level. I know, Nick, we've talked about this at length, about how, we need to just focus on development. Don't worry about the wins and losses. That's all good and well. And just because we won tonight and we're 4 or 5 games back doesn't mean I say, let's throw hell in handbasket and go after it and try to win this year. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is that at some point, when you decide that you're just going to continue to let these guys tear it up, it's not even about them guys playing well, Nick. This is about them being way better than the competition. That's what this is. You don't do something this long if you're just not better than everyone. And the question I have is, you can bring a guy up, they can get sent down if they don't play well. All right? So it is time. And I get that that's the quote-unquote fan take. But my point to you, Nick, is this. Sometimes the fans are right. They're not right most of the time. Most of the time, emotion clouds the judgment. Most of the time, emotion makes you look like a fool. Most of the time, your emotion makes you think that you should re-sign or extend Scooter Gennett. But that's not what this is. That's not what this is. This is a matter now of saying to everyone in your organization that we are winners. We're going to take a winning mentality. And what that means is if you produce, you get opportunities. That's it. Plain and simple. If you don't produce, you're going to get offered an opportunity somewhere else. That's what I think, in my opinion, a winning culture is made of. It's not pressure. It doesn't mean that your job's on the line if you don't produce in 2 or 3 or 4 games. But what it does mean is that I don't want to send a message to McLean, CES, and or Ellie that we're just holding you here because we just want to do that because we think it's better for you. Your whole entire life in sports is based around the concept of you either produce or you don't. It's why sports are better. It's the best microcosm of life because when you get into the real world, as they say, there's politics that get in the way. There's brown nosers. There's all these things that can get you to the top. That might get you to the top, but it doesn't mean you're the best. Sports are the one area in life where you can say to yourself, if I play better than the next guy, I will play. Because that's what sports are. Doesn't matter who you know, doesn't matter where you came from, doesn't matter the color of your skin, none of that matters. Sports is the one place you can go to where if you're the best, you earn the privilege of being somewhere where the rest aren't. And now we're in a situation, Nick, that we have to do something and reward these guys that are playing so damn well. And I get the idea of wanting to make sure if they come up, you can't send them back down. I get that, Nick. But I beg you and I beg Nick Krall the simple question of, if now is not the right time, then when is it?
If it was up to me, I'd call all 3 of them up Friday night. Reds, Yankees. But I don't know. I don't know if I'm being emotional on that. I think that would be awesome. Call all 3 of them up. Could you imagine calling all 3 of them up for the Yankees series? This is going to be the one series all year where there's going to be the most attention on the Reds because the Yankees are coming to town. And those games will be, I think I heard that a couple of them are already sellouts. And if they bring those up, they're sellouts. And it wouldn't really be about selling tickets because you're going to sell tickets for that series either way. But just the energy that it would bring would be incredible. Now, I also, while I say that, I don't think at the same time it's egregious if they decide to be a little more conservative. I would, but I don't think it's this like line in the sand where you're idiots if you don't call them up and you're smart if you do. I don't think it's that. McLean's like about a half the games that O'Neal Cruz played in AAA. So I look at that and I go, okay, sure, I'd like to see them up. I feel like if it was up to me, I would, but I also don't feel like it's this.
Nick, it's not I get what you're saying. I'm not even here. I guess the main question I would have is wipe all that away. Take away the metrics. Take away everything. If we were playing at the playground, right? And Nick Krall, his life depended on winning a series. And he said, you got a 7-game series. You got to play you're basically playing an inter-squad game. You take your AAA roster, you take your Major League roster. You got a best of 7. Do you think right now he'd rather have Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McLean, CES, or Jose Barrero, Stuart Fairchild, or Will Myers? Now, Will Myers, I understand a little bit because you signed him. You were hoping you could get some trade value out of. But Kevin Newman, let me switch it to Kevin Newman. So Kevin Newman, Stuart Fairchild. Don't mean to put Stu in there. I'm sure there's a better name than him. And then Barrero. Of those 3 guys, do you think that he's not taking those over the other 3?
No question. I don't think it's about that for the Reds why they're making this decision. But no question, for sure. I agree with you. But let's get one thing clear. Will Myers is playing every day until 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks until the trade deadline. And every other team in baseball will be playing him every day. So this whole notion of DFA Will Myers, like, come on, that's ludicrous. You're going to play this guy. He has a track record. I know he has been awful, but he was awful early in the year last year. You got to play him. It would be a mistake not to play him and not give yourself a chance to cash in on a prospect. There's just that part of it's ludicrous. I can't get on board with that. I agree. I'd love to see them call everyone up, but there's going to have to be tough decisions made. Is Jonathan India DHing almost every day? I'm fine with that, but is everyone else fine with that? Is Spencer Steer playing right field some of the time? to get everyone else in the lineup when Tyler Stevenson needs to DH or play first base, I'm fine with that, but everyone else will fine with that? There's a chain reaction to all of this that we also have to measure and account for.
Understandable. It's just that at some point, the line in the sand is going to get crossed. And I'd like to think that obviously CES is going to cool down a little bit. Certainly McLean has to cool off a little bit, right? We've been saying that for 2 weeks. We've been saying that for a month. At some point, maybe the guy's just better than everybody. Maybe he just is. And you know what? You can say whatever you want. Oh, last year he hit 233. Don't worry about it. He'll come back down to earth. Well, there's a lot of guys that you could say early on in their career they might have struggled or whatever you want to call it, didn't play up to their standards for a short amount of time. So at some point, you just got to rip the Band-Aid off and say, we're bringing these guys up. I know that people might think that we're just bringing them up to sell tickets. We're just bringing them up because the fans are asking for it. The scary part that I have now is, and this is a real thing, I'm being serious when I say this. There are times when I think that the most powerful person, the one that has the keys to the castle, decides in their mind that they're not going to cave in to the public pressure of what everybody wants. So and I'm not saying they're just holding them back just because the fans are screaming for it, but I do think that it would look a little weird sometimes as being the person that's in charge of everything, and then all of a sudden everyone's screaming that Matt McLean needs to come up, and then you bring him up, and then all of a sudden the guy's just playing out of his mind, and everyone's looking at you like, where was this guy at like the last, 2 months we've been playing baseball? I think there's a small chance that it's like, you know what? I'm just going to wait because I can. And I guess my point is I hope that's not the reality. I'd like to just say, in this organization, this is who we are. This is what we do. The best player plays at their position. We don't sit around. We don't let Eugenio Suarez, I know I bring him up every show, it seems like. We don't let Eugenio Suarez sit at third base, one of those positions, by the way, that you try to get production out of. If you can't play left field very well defensively, and you can't play right field very well defensively, and you can't play, luckily this year I don't think we have a third base problem, then you need to be hitting the cover off the baseball. Newsflash, go take a look at everybody on this team. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is tearing the cover off the baseball. Now, we got some players that are performing well, but nobody deserves the no-touch status of being able to get moved somewhere and or splitting time with somebody to a small extent. And outside of India moving positions, that's the only major thing I would say that they would have to do if you wanted to get into it. And I'm to the point now where it's as simple as this. I love Jose Barrero. I hope he has an all-star career. If nothing else, it proves half the people that want to scream and yell about this guy every single night wrong. I'm rooting for him as much as I am anybody, but I'm also a realist. He looks lost. So if you look lost, I'm not going to let you figure it out at the major league level if you've never figured it out. You bring up a good point about Will Myers. Will Myers is a guy that has a little bit of a proven track record to where I might say to you, Nick, all right, I'll pump the brakes. I'll give him a little bit more time. But a guy like Jose Barrero should not continue to play. And don't get me started on Kevin Newman. Congratulations on your hit the other night, by the way. Really nice. But outside of that, I'm not even going to talk about the guy. So you got a guy that needs an opportunity, that's done everything in his power possibly to get called up to the major leagues. I would consider it borderline criminal. It would be a black eye, in my opinion, on this franchise if something were to, I'm not even going to say it, but you can think for yourself. If something were to happen at the AAA level to one of these guys, there will be hell to pay. And at some point, you're playing stupid games, you're going to win a stupid prize. That's all I'm going to say. Be careful. Be careful.
I had that exact same thought run through my head tonight, so we must be on the same page there. I think your point about McLean that you first made is probably the best point. I'm worried that we're going to have too high of expectations for Matt McLean.
Well, that's fine. That's where fans can be stupid. But go ahead.
Hold on. I was going to back up your point here. I said I'm worried that we're getting too high of expectations for Matt McLain, but at the same time, he's getting to the point where he needs challenged. Like I think it's that's more than calling up, not calling him up. At some point, he needs to. I think the only way he's going to figure out what he needs to work on might be to get him up to the big leagues at this point. And I wasn't even there maybe a week ago, but it keep going on and on and on and on. And I'm getting to the point where he just needs that. He needs to face big league pitching every night and see what he's made of.
He's the smartest kid in the class right now. And he's been the smartest kid in the class for 3 months. He's sitting in the back row right now, twiddling his thumbs, wondering when he's going to be able to actually try to learn something new. And I get the concept of wanting to make sure 100% he's ready. We don't want to send him down again. All this crap that we as a human race have put in a psychological brain within baseball, this groupthink mentality that if you come up to the big leagues, we can't send you back down because your career will be ruined. Forget that, man. Tell these kids right now, if you go to AAA, your career's not over. Jose Barrero, you could be an all-star, but right now, you're not ready. We're going to send you to AAA. You're struggling a little bit. Figure it out, Will Benson style, and you can come back and play. Same thing to McLain. If you come up and we realize we made a mistake, so be it. You can grow to AAA. That's not a death sentence. It's not a death sentence. But what happens is what will really piss me off is you bring up McLain, and he's the best hitter on the team. He's much better defensively than what we had. And you sit around and you ask yourself, what have we been doing for the last 2 months? And you can say all you want. But at some point, winning has to take priority in this franchise. It has to be the number one priority. Not this Musha bull, you know what I'm going to say, all the time about, well, we're building for the future. We don't want too many peaks. We want too many valleys. All that. We're about winning. That's what we do here. Uh-oh. Man, I knocked your damn camera out, Nick. I apologize for that.
Oh, boy. All right. Well, since you don't even have a picture of me, you guys are selling me. Let's picture this, all right? Wednesday, Reds play 3 o'clock Eastern against the Rockies. They're off on Thursday. Wednesday night, game ends. Little leak to see Trent Rosecrans. Reds are planning on calling up Ellie De La Cruz, Matt McLain, and Christian Encarnacion Strand. You have Wednesday night. You have all day Thursday. Could you imagine the energy at Great American Ballpark on Friday? It would be the perfect time. I don't think they're idiots if they don't do that, but God, I want it. I want it as much as everyone else. I'm with you. I want it. I don't know. Right. We'll see. We'll see. Right. Go Reds. Go Reds.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Nick's an idiot, okay? And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about Crawl. Together, well, yeah, I mean, you're basically the whipping boy for the Cincinnati Reds, as they say. I mean, you what are they? You're Mr. Optimistic boy. Damn you. I'm not suggesting that Nick Crawl doesn't know what he's doing. I think Nick Crawl is a great general manager. I don't know who's making the ultimate decision. Okay, I really don't. David Bell probably has a little bit of pull. I'm sure that obviously Nick Crawl is the one that holds probably the most leverage. Ownership group probably has some kind of input, you'd think. They're the ones that sign the paychecks. I guess I'm to the point now where I don't want to find out that if you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Okay? That's all. And that would be, you want to talk about a death blow to this organization. You want to talk about the fan base getting a gut punch. I'm not going to go there because I'm feeling great. We just won a baseball game. But I'm also not naive. I don't have a pea brain. I also understand there's a guy in AAA right now that's better. Point blank, if you are sitting there on a playground and you said you got to pick the best player of the two, you're picking Matt McLain over Jose Barrero right now. 10 times out of 10, and if that's what it is, then you know what? This is professional sports. The best man should play. So you bring him up, you let him play, you send Jose Barrero down, and that is what it is. It's not a death blow. Doesn't mean Jose Barrero can't come back. It's not a black hole. Last time I checked, TJ Friedel's doing just fine. That's it. Reds MILB, before we make this show go way too long. By the way, if this is your first time joining us, I'm not saying we're always this passionate. I have had a few days off, so it's been building up. But it is fun. I've seen some people in the chat, new people in the chat. Welcome. Please do me a favor. Like the stream. Tell somebody about this show. We need as many people in here as we can. You know, me and Nick would enjoy us doing this at some point for a job. Right now, we just do it because we love you.
Hey, good days are coming. Just wait. All right, let's get to some Reds MILB. I don't know if it's gone final yet. No, we're in the bottom of the ninth right now. Louisville's losing 6-1. Will Benson, 1 for 4. Ellie De La Cruz has 2 walks, stole third base. If you haven't seen the highlight, go to Twitter, find it. Incredible steal of third base off of the pitcher on a walk to Matt McLean. McLean, he's 1 for 3 with a walk. Christian Encarnacion Strand, he's 1 for 3 with a walk. Encarnacion Strand had a triple. Storyline in this game, though, Levi Stout was scratched right before the game, but no injury designated with the scratch. Stout is on the 40-man roster. Nick Lodolo, who we're going to get to in a second, is supposed to pitch tomorrow. He was pushed back, so some speculation there. I makes it sound like Stout's coming up. Is it to replace Lodolo, or is it just to replace that spot that was the bullpen day yesterday? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that, but that is a storyline to follow. Chattanooga Lookouts, they were rained out again. Second straight day they've been rained out. They are playing a doubleheader tomorrow. The Dayton Dragons, they won 3-1 over Peoria. Edwin Arroyo in this game had a hit. That's about all. There was a lot of guys that were sitting. And then the Daytona Tortugas, they went final 8-1 winners over St. Lucie. The Tortugas have now won 3 straight. They improved to 12-19 on the season. Cam Collier, 2 for 4 with a double. Carlos Jorge continues to be hot. He was 2 for 5. Hector Rodriguez, 4 for 5 with a pair of doubles in that one for the Tortugas.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Let's jump into a couple quick questions with the chat. We'll wrap the show up, obviously, with tomorrow's starters, and we will get into the opportunity for the Cincinnati Reds team to win a series, as Ronnie wants us to discuss. First question comes from the ever-so-famous OJ's 94 Bronco. He asked if there was any update with the Lodolo situation, and I don't know. I mean, it does seem a little odd that is he going to pitch tomorrow?
I don't know. On the Bally broadcast, they said he was the pitcher for tomorrow. I saw that, so they don't know anything. So
right.
I don't know.
And then the biggest thing that I seen people bickering about on Twitter, OJ Bronco brings up obviously Friedel, and
yeah,
I think that's like that's like the 10-day. People are asking for them to bring him up. Let me back up, compose my thoughts. TJ Friedel obviously has a little bit of an injury. The question is whether or not he should be put on the IL, because then at that point you'd be able to bring somebody up on the roster. You made the point, and I'll let you clarify and continue your point, that they obviously think, or they're optimistic to think, that he's going to come back relatively soon. And if he doesn't, then they can obviously retroactively put him on the 10-day IL, and then they could bring somebody up. I'll let you kind of explain and or farther your thoughts on that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing a lot of people got to remember is we're playing with a 26-man roster right now for like almost 50 years. We play with 25 guys, so we already have an extra roster spot. National League has a DH, so while you have to use one of your spots, you also don't have to pinch it for the pitcher multiple times. So I think back in the day, there was a lot more of a sense of urgency to replace this guy and not go a couple games without. But TJ Friedel's been one of your best players on this team. If you think that he can be healthy by Monday, why not just play without one guy for the weekend? I just don't think that's a big deal. If you wanted to replace his spot and he is good on Monday, well, you're wasting 6 games because he wouldn't be healthy and he wouldn't be eligible to come back till after that Yankee series. So I don't know. I just don't see a rush to do that. Yeah,
the risk is worth the reward, if you will. in regards to that extra player. I don't know if that extra player is. Yeah, I'm with you, Nick. I think I'm willing to wait a few days to see if they know more than we do. Obviously, they're in a situation where they've talked to TJ, and they've also obviously gotten some expert opinions, probably from medical staff, that have let them know what the chances are for him to come back. Chat is popping here for a minute. I'm trying to get another relatively insightful thing. Brian mentioned that per Jim Day that Lodolo is not pitching. He is scratched, and the chat is confirming that thanks to Dougie Bubs. So that's kind of bad news. Here's the thing with this. Let's not overreact. Let's not freak out. We don't do that on the show. We don't overreact. Lodolo is probably a combination where he's got a little discomfort. This is all speculation, by the way, is my opinion. A little discomfort, coupled with the fact that he struggled a little bit, to where they don't want to run him out there in a compromised position to continue to struggle again. If, and I'm not suggesting he's playing hooky or something like that to where he doesn't want to pitch. If he was throwing the ball really well, I think they would be a little more apt to saying, okay, you can probably pitch through this. I would also say, if this was a very, very meaningful game and it was the playoffs, I think that he would pitch. So I'm not going to go overly crazy and think that, oh, no, we need to be concerned for Lodolo. Again, this is, to be clear, this is all speculation on my end. But I do feel comfortable saying that.
Yeah, I think you're probably on there. Lodolo struggled a little bit, so maybe this explains some of those struggles. It's another chance for Levi Stout. I assume that he's pitching tomorrow. That's the only logical explanation here at this point. It's a chance for him to get some redemption. This is a good ballpark to pitch in, much better than Great American Ballpark, where he really struggled in. So,
yep.
Yeah, hey, I'm excited to see Stout tomorrow, see what he's got. He's got his hands full against Sandy Alcantara, who has struggled a little bit this year, but has dominated the Reds. 2.03 career ERA in 31 innings, and threw a shutout against the Reds last year. So, hey, but hey, play with house money, and it is a day game tomorrow as well.
It is a little interesting. We'll see how the Reds can handle that. The nightlife down in Miami can be it's boring. What else we got? Anything else from the chat before we get going? I know everyone is relatively sad about Lodolo. Hey, it is okay. It is okay. A-okay. I'm assuming, I don't want to assume, though, you know what they say about that, that the tomorrow starters graphics is probably going to be wrong based off the fact that we just found out Lodolo got scratched.
Yeah.
All right.
Here you go.
And that is okay.
I made it, so I'll show it.
That is okay. That is very, 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 very understandable. So, as you had mentioned, Alcantara is going to struggle tomorrow. Don't know what to tell you. Don't know what to tell you. And on top of that, it's about time for Levi to bounce back. He makes a good gene.
Trace, I think it's dunk time.
Oh.
I think we need to give the kids what they want.
Well, if you say so.
Can't see me anyway, so.
Well, there's only one thing for you to do, and that is to clear the singular graphics. Now, this is a situation where, as I've said before, sometimes you run out of things to do. You're not sure what to do. Shout out to Jake Fraley. This is another light for you. You know, I mean, it's one of those things where there's nut cutting time, and then the real nut cutters show their face. And Jake Fraley, it's fair to say, is a true nut cutter. I'm going to give a second in the chat. Chat, what are we looking for? What are we looking for?
Oh, wow.
What do we need to do? All right, I got an idea. First, a real pro would do this. That's what a real pro would do. They're going to play the outro, and they're going to find something to do. So here's my idea. I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm going to give it hell. Here we go. This could break, but it might be epic. Ready? See you tomorrow, everybody. Much love to you.